The Royal Marines are an immensely flexible organization. Um, their value lies in all sorts of levels, but not least in the human capital which resides there. So I think the all-up strength is 6,500. When I commanded it, it was 7,800. So all this is about money. This is not about clear-sighted logic. The defense budget is squeezed and squeezed and squeezed, and this is about money. Make no mistake. 47% of the boys, and they are largely boys in the Royal Marines, are educationally qualified to be officers. Every officer that goes through Lympstone, the Commando Training Centre, in his 15 months of training, is in the top 5% in terms of potential of all the naval officers that go through Dartmouth. But their primary role is amphibious. They are sea soldiers. And HMS Ocean has gone, and the two LPDs, the landing platform docks, which allow surface assault, they can take about 400 men, 710, I think, when they're really squished in, 64 vehicles, and they can launch that force ashore. Without that, we don't have that capability because these ships have a dock. They can dock down and those boats float off the back. We went to war in the Falklands on things like the Canberra, on ships taken up from trade. And the challenges of, I mean, it's just not an act of war going to a place of conflict, in a civilian ship. So it will have profound effect on Britain's ability to project project force ashore if that is what is required. You have to have a sustainable mass. War is you have to spit, not dribble. If you're going to establish a beachhead ashore, you need to be able to you need to have a credible and competent force. You go where the enemy isn't, but you only have so much time to build up your combat power. And those two ships are core, ORE, central to credible amphibious operations. So deleting them now would have I mean, there's no way of spinning it, would have an immense impact. As I said, as I started by saying, the Royal Marines has enormous utility in other areas. I mean, it guards the nuclear deterrent. It does all sorts of other things. But its primary commando role is the projection of force ashore, and without the LPDs, there will be real difficulty. I think from the top of my head, it's an LPD can carry a landing platform dock like Bulwark or Albion can carry about 2 to 3 weeks worth of combat power. So if you launch 710 men ashore with all their kit and caboodle, you can then keep them fighting at the sort of expenditure rates that you envisage by offloading all that logistic stuff with them. Whereas, the Paras go in, they will hold ground, they will seize ground, think of Arnhem and Pegasus Bridge. But somebody then has to get to them. Otherwise, they're toast.